This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Besile Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Besile Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you workable and valuable information you can use to improve your business and network. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "The internet is becoming a town square for the global village of tomorrow." And that is from Bill Gates. The internet today is all over the place. It's a very valuable and powerful tool. But the question is, do we understand it? And the second one is, how can we use it successfully? So with us today in the studio, we have someone who helps small businesses, understand it and use it properly. He is with 321 Web Marketing, and his name is Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, Besile. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.
How are you today?
Very good, very good. I make sure that I say it correctly because that's part of marketing. You understand that?
Oh, 100%. It's funny. Even coming up with the name 321 Web Marketing, we were just thinking, what could we say over the phone that people could understand and easily put it in as a website, 321webmarketing.com.
There you go. So tell me, how do you come to get into marketing?
Well, you know, we started this, really my partners and I, we started working with each other about 9 years ago on separate projects.
Okay.
And about 3 years ago, we came together for this project of 321 Web Marketing because we found that that's the greatest good we could do for the community. Okay. We found over and over again that this is how we could help the most people achieve their goals for their businesses. And more than anything, we've always been just excited about growing the community. Okay. So growing the community by getting the word out there, that's what we really enjoy doing.
Well, that's what Bill Gates is talking about, the global village. That's the global village of tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, very good. So now tell me, what is your approach with the businesses? How do you help them?
Well, you know, really we do three things with businesses when we're working with them. Okay. The first thing we do is we help them build or fix their website and basically make it so they follow all the rules of IT. They're actually a little bit simpler than a lot of people would imagine because at the end of the day, you know, Google wants to be human, as they say. But we can get more into that later.
Google want to be human?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, it's a fascinating thing. People, when they're trying to, you know, people wonder how Google actually ranks all the different websites on the internet. And what Google does is Google wants to be the best search engine out there by giving you a fast and relevant internet. If you didn't find the website you liked within the first couple of clicks in the search, you'd probably start using something like Bing.com.
Oh, interesting.
So basically what Google is doing with theirs is they make sure, is the website fast? Are people actually clicking on the link? Is it the information that they're searching for? And the part about Google wants to be human is it's doing the research for you. For example, let's say that the address on your website is different than the address on the Yellow Pages. Google's not going to look at that very well. They're going to say, this company doesn't look like a legitimate company. But if your information's the same everywhere, kind of like if you were researching a company and you were trying to do all the research for yourself, you'd say, hey, this company is definitely located here. I trust them. The information goes, you know, it makes it so they go up a little bit more in the rankings.
Interesting.
Now, the reason why this is really relevant to all businesses is that 74% of all users who are using the internet are using Google. The reason why that's especially interesting, so that means that if you are on the internet, people are probably using Google to find you. So we put a lot of weight into making sure that we are getting people higher in the rankings.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so I come to you then and I have a small business, or I just started my business, and I'm interested in promoting my business. What would you suggest to me?
Well, the first thing, a lot of people, the first thing they ask is about, there's social media this, there's Yellow Pages that, do we do an advertisement? But the first thing we would always recommend is let's just build you a website. And let's, on that website, talk about what you're all about on that website. Usually that'll be about 6 to 10 pages, and really any company can do that with what they're doing. They can do it by themselves. Whether it's going to be a fast website or a good-looking website,
That's understood.
100%. But yeah, the first thing I would recommend from anybody is let's buy a domain from something like GoDaddy. I also like Namecheap.com or something from Amazon called Route 53. After you buy that domain, I'd like to also, for consumer protection, let everybody know, make sure you're the one who owns that domain. Make sure that whoever you're working with does not own that domain, because that's like your property, that's your real estate. We've noticed with some companies that they actually buy it themselves, and then they let their client use it. But then afterwards, they have vendor lock-in. They're stuck working with that person. And that's nerve-wracking. I want to make sure that everybody knows that they need to protect themselves and own that domain.
Okay.
After they own that domain, at that point, if somebody's people should avoid build your own websites, tools such as Wix.com. The reason why I'm saying that is because Google actually doesn't really generally like those websites from what we've seen in the past. I have never seen a Wix website rank in the top 10 pages unless you're looking directly for that business name. So that's something that I think is really interesting when I'm working with a lot of these people. The first thing they say is, oh, I could build this on Wix. That's not recommended. What I would recommend to a lot of people is they work with a web developer and they try to make sure that's an affordable rate that's within their budget. Or perhaps maybe they look into building it on a good, on a platform such as WordPress. Okay. That's a very popular technology that's very easy to use, and we're a big fan of it. Okay. It allows people to kind of do-it-yourself marketing. But yeah, I've kind of talked a little bit about these things. Do you have any questions about this, Besile? Maybe something that I could help clarify?
No, just know that either in IT or in marketing, the situation of a business owner is like he is a layman. These are the pros. And how do you get the most result out of your money in marketing? That's really the question that I have.
Well, I think something that I would really stress with a lot of these business owners is a lot of them are thinking, I've got to get this beautiful website and I've got to get this beautiful logo. But believe it or not, that's not where the phone calls come from. People, when they go on the internet, you can have an ugly website and people will still shop from you. Really what happens is they'll get excited, they'll say like, ooh, wow, good looking website for the first 5 seconds, but then after that makes it so it builds legitimacy. There's something to be said about that. But after those first 5 seconds of being wowed by the website, they're trying to find information. They're trying to figure out, what do you offer and why do I want to work with you? If you're able to provide really good information on that, then the customer might actually pre-qualify themselves before they even give you a phone call. What may end up happening is they might say, hey, in fact, we see this all the time with our clients. They will get a phone call and they'll say, you know what, I read all about you on the internet and I think you're the person I want to work with. Your philosophy on business makes sense to me, your products make sense to me. What is your name? It goes in that order. So
content, that's what you're saying.
Content is king. People care the most about content on the internet. That's why people are searching the internet. Perhaps we can show maybe a couple images on this. With these good-looking websites in these different industries we work with, such as health and beauty, healthcare, and with all these different licensed professionals, people just spend a little bit of time on that front page, but they are most of the traffic, they're going to things such as our blogs on, for example, one of the spas we work with, one of their most popular blogs is on water and why water is healthy for you. It brings in so much traffic, and believe it or not, those people then they start searching other parts of the website, and then those people give a phone call. So content is king. If you're writing really good content that people are interested in, if people are sharing it, even if people aren't sharing it, if it's just good content, Google will help people find that content by making, because the website's fast, the content's good, and people are clicking on it. It'll go up, and that leads to more business.
So basically, there's a lot of things that go into making a business, a website successful then.
100%. If you can follow, really with Google and all the different algorithm rules that you have to follow to get to the top of the rankings, they're really just good business practices that you can do on your own. You might even be doing them without even thinking about search engines. For example, making sure that you're listed the same way across every single different directory on the internet. If you're doing it that way, that's very helpful. The next thing after that is, does your website load fast? That's huge.
How do you make your website go fast or look fast?
You need to work with a good IT company. That's generally the first rule of thumb. But for the do-it-yourself part of it, that part is where it gets a little bit more technical, and that's where, I would recommend
a consultant.
I would recommend a consultant on that one. I wish I could tell somebody to do it yourself on that one, but that one is actually fairly tough. Okay. My first recommendation with that, though, would be, this is how we got really good at making our websites fast. We started off with a GoDaddy server. Then we found out that the GoDaddy server was really slow and we didn't like it. Then we went to HostGator, which is a very popular service, and we realized we really do not like using HostGator. Eventually what we found out was one of the best things you can do for your website is either find a very good managed server hosting service, and if you Google that, it's a managed server hosting, or what you can do is you can basically get your own dedicated server. That's a little bit more expensive, but at least people don't realize it, but the reason why they're able to get a $4 server, I'm sure you've seen that where you're able to get a cheap server on the internet for their hosting. Yeah. It's because they're sharing that server with 20 plus other people.
Oh, and that means it will be slow?
It either means it might be slow. You might end up, this is going to be funny, but we've actually had to get some of our clients off the servers because we've noticed that they're sharing a server with like a pornography company. Google that doesn't look very trustworthy. So because of that, it's good to just know that you're in your own facility, your own server, or you're working with a reputable managed hosted server.
Interesting. Okay. As I say, it's a whole world out there.
100%. I hope that I'm not getting too technical.
No. Let me question. Before we started the show, you talked about the marketing paying off over the period of time. Can you tell us more about it?
100%. I think a lot of new business owners, they think that if they just build a website and it looks good, it'll just appear on the internet. But then they hear also, oh, I might appear on page 5. Or, this is what we noticed. Some people spend a lot of money, like outrageous amounts of money on building a website. And they make it, they're making like David or the Mona Lisa, this beautiful website. But because they don't do any marketing on it, it never leads to any phone calls. And then they've racked up a huge tab on their website. That being said, basically over time, you have to consistently be putting content and work into that website. If you're consistently putting work into that website, making it so there's more and more content on your website and getting yourself mentioned in more and more places on the internet, what will end up happening is Google, I guess let's rewind a little bit. Google has something called a sandbox period. A lot of people are not aware of this thing called the sandbox period. With them, and usually we see for the first 2 to 3 months, you actually do not get any traffic to your website. But don't be afraid. You have to keep putting content on your website. After about 3 months of the work that we're providing, or anybody who's actually putting effort into their own website, we notice that they start getting traffic because Google says, okay, they're actually trying to make a good website. Let's start giving them website traffic. Then after that, even though they start giving you more traffic, it's great to keep watching this thing grow. We notice that with our clients, phone calls don't start coming in until about 3 to 7 months into us helping them out with their marketing. And at that point, they'll maybe see 1 phone call, and when you get that first phone call from your website, that is a very exciting moment. We know that because we add tracking numbers. Tracking numbers are a very good thing to figure out what you're actually putting your marketing dollars into.
Absolutely.
But that being said, after you get that first phone call, that's a great sign. You might not see one the next month, but within about 3 months, maybe you'll see 5 phone calls, then you'll see 10 phone calls. You'll see it in steady linear growth. What I mean by that is if you just keep putting your effort into your marketing, the next month the phone calls won't stop. they'll keep coming. They'll actually come at the same rate, but if you're consistently putting money and effort into your marketing, it'll keep going up. And I would almost, to the layman, what I would describe this as, I would describe it like exercise. You know, if you get into shape, and it's really hard getting into shape, but once you're in good shape, you're going to stay in good shape. And if you stop working out, that's the other thing. If you stop working out, you'll stay in pretty good shape for a while, but after a while, you'll also start getting out of shape.
What is the secret then to make the phone ring? I guess maybe that's your expertise then, is that what it is?
Well, I'm telling you, anybody can do it. I mean, the things that I'm telling you, most marketers, they try to sell like, oh, I'm an expert, I can do tricks that you can't do, but really all they're doing are, again, maybe just three things. They make a website that looks good, they make a website that's fast and easy to navigate, and then after that, they just add lots of great content onto the website. Okay. That's the secret, and anybody can do it. The difference between us and maybe other people is maybe we're doing like 30 pages of content a month for some of the clients that we're working with. But one tip that I think I could give to everybody is, and this is what we've seen, we've actually been helping a recent client out for this. One in Fairfax, which is great. It's in our local community. Okay, good. They have we went to their website and they had lots of pages. They had actually about 200 pages. Huge website, right?
Are you serious?
That's a big website. You know, a lot of people...
Of course it is. I mean, 200 pages, my goodness, I almost passed out when I heard that.
But they only had 100 to 200 words per website, per page. Some of them had 300 words. But it's funny because if you looked at the website, this part on the main content side was shorter than the sidebar menu. It looks really funny, like it's backwards. The trick to any good website where somebody can help getting themselves phone calls, we're reducing that website. We're gutting a lot of it. We're getting it down to maybe about 40 pages. And we want each of those pages to have well over 500 words per page. That's something anybody can do. And that's a trick that a lot of marketers won't talk about. In fact, a lot of them might not even know that you're supposed to do that. Because a lot of marketers, they're just website designers. So this is a trick of the trade that I think that's very good for everybody to know, and they can execute it themselves.
Okay. Yeah, because truly, it's kind of like kiss me fate, Allah. What's going to happen? Nobody ever. We don't necessarily know the guidelines. At least I didn't know the guidelines. I always wonder, what are the guidelines to make the phone ring?
The guidelines for it, over time, you know, the one thing that we've really been educating a lot of people on that we really help, it's funny because they work with us and they start realizing, oh wow, this is a full production to actually get the phone calls coming in. Believe me, it works. We've seen the numbers just, you know, we've had businesses come in worried that they're going to have to lay somebody off, but all of a sudden, wow, like after about 5 months, they're in great shape. And just because they're able to build themselves a marketing asset that has predictable results. That's the beauty in it. We noticed that people with these investments, it costs them money and they're losing money for about 6 months, but then by the 12th month period, they've made money. By the 24th month period, they are in great shape. At that point, they even can expand and bring on more employees so they can do more work themselves on other things. But maybe that's just me selling the dream.
Well, no dream, no future, right? Okay, now let me ask you a quick question over here. You graced us by coming to our breakfast club. Can you share with the audience over here your experience at the breakfast club?
I'd love to share it. You know, right now I've been talking a lot about inbound marketing, which means, you know, you have to help people kind of come find you, but a lot of businesses require business-to-business marketing. Oddly enough, as a marketing company ourselves, we can't do it all through SEO. We usually describe it as there's 2 elevators that you're on. Okay. One elevator only has one line on it holding it up. It works most of the time, but sometimes it breaks. This elevator on the right has 5 cables, and sometimes one of the cables breaks. Which elevator do you want to ride on?
The one with 5 cables.
Correct, because if you're only doing online marketing, you're going to crash. You're going to hurt. Right now, you're relying only on one form of way to grow your business. For us, as an internet marketing company, we think it's extremely important to go out and meet other people. if not just to gain other business, but just to meet other people that you can potentially help out. So, I've been going to Basile's Breakfast Club now for quite a few months. And I've been a big fan. I'm a huge believer in the people around it, and the excellent thing about it, I think it's just like internet marketing where you have to have wonderful content. Like, this is actually my favorite part about Basile's Breakfast Club. My favorite part about it is a lot of people don't really know that networking is about building the community around you. You're supposed to be helping other people out. And the first thing Besile does during every single networking event that I'm just a big fan of is he goes over the best rules of how to network, and he gets everybody in the right state of mind to actually open up and try to help each other out rather than just sell. And because of that, yeah, I've bought from some of the people there because it's made sense. It's helped me open up a little bit. I've sold. Heck, actually, in the last month, I've made 2 connections with 2 very good leads, and I'm able to help them out. It's a great connection. Yeah, good. But that's just my opinion on the matter. I've been a big fan of it.
No, thank you. We set it up really, as I mentioned, is for the guests, and more importantly, for the guests to be well taken care of, welcome. So the way I explain it, the difference is when you go into Safeway or you go into farmers market. You go. Okay, you want to make sure you have a credit card, you have checkbook, your money, and you go. But when you go into a networking event, you don't go. When you go into Safeway, you're going into a buying situation. You're going to buy. When you go to a network event, you're not necessarily going to buy. So if you hit with a sales pitch, it takes them by surprise. They don't even know why, but it's just like.
It turns people off.
Yes, they don't know because they did not go they didn't come to buy. So therefore, one has to understand that in networking, they're coming to get some help. They didn't come to buy. So if you understand that, then that makes networking an easier affair and for one and all concerned. And if you take care of people or help them, the only thing that can happen is that it'll come the other way around. The old what goes around comes around. I think one of the challenge people have is that they say that, but they don't believe that what goes around comes for whatever reason. And therefore, it makes the interaction difficult.
Well, I think a lot of people people get hyper-competitive, especially in the area where we're at. And something that I've learned over time is rather than get angry that there's other marketers around, I actually talk to them and I ask them, hey, what are you the best at with marketing? If I find out, like I've already discussed the 3 industries that I'm a big fan of that we're very, my team is just very experienced with, beauty, healthcare, licensed professionals, legal and accounting. But with some of these people, sometimes they're actually better at something like marketing software. And when you're able to open up and realize that there's a lot of people out there that you can help, with these connections, you become less hyper-competitive and think, oh, all the business is mine. You start, spreading the business around. That comes back to you. That person might be a little bit friendlier to you next time and say, hey, you know what? I found somebody that I think it's not the best fit for me, but it's the best fit for you. And it's like you say, networking is not just for meeting that person, but it's for meeting that person's network. There's a lot more for that.
Absolutely.
It's about getting people connections with the right other people, and that creates value. It grows the community.
Yeah. And as mentioned, it comes down to community. It's about taking care of the community we live in. And my line of thought is, if you take care of community, the community will be there and will be able to avail themselves of your service.
100%.
If that community is nothing happening there, it doesn't matter. If you have gold to sell, nobody can buy it. They don't have the money for it. So we build a community where people are doing well. No, we offer valid service. We believe in it, and things flows.
I get excited when I can actually help somebody else get a sell because the person requires the service. I think, even in marketing, a lot of the people that we help with, we're not trying to sell, we're not trying to sell ice cubes to Eskimos. If we're trying to help out an immigration attorney, we need to find somebody who actually wants that service. If we're trying to help out a criminal attorney, find somebody who needs that service. Same thing. You got to find people that are actually getting in the right connection with each other. Right now, it's funny because right now we're helping out a masseuse, and I wanted to get that guy in connection with everybody who's stressed out.
I don't think you have to go too far. I want to ask you, Jonathan, I'm nearing the end over here. What do you consider your biggest success?
My biggest success? My biggest success is still yet to come, but
That's a good. I think that I can have that.
but right now, if I can consider my biggest success, it's the fact that right now I've been helping. It's really the community. I've been helping many different people do what they want to do with their lives. And if I can continuously just help more and more people be able to do what they want to do with their careers, that's going to make me a very happy and fulfilled person.
Okay.
And believe it or not, in fact, I think you will believe it, my partners feel very much the same way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely
I had a conversation with you, I know so. I think you're definitely an outstanding company. That's what I wanted to bring you on the show, so we can make you known to many more people. And folks, you can see his website right there on the screen. And yeah, definitely contact him, and I think that he takes care of people very well, and he'll do so for you as well. I also want to remind you guys that we host a monthly breakfast event right here in Fairfax. The next one will be on October 15, or you can check our website, which is blnbc.com, to get information on that. And also we host an expo. Our next expo is on November 6th. We'll be at the Bechtel conference in Reston. We'll have about 80 to 100 exhibitors there, and we're expecting 400 business people. We still have some booths and sponsorships available, so feel free to avail yourself of those. You can find the information on that on our website, which is ultbizexpo.com, ultbizexpo.com. And for those who are watching for the first time, I want to remind those who are watching that we have our show on Cox Channel 10 on Tuesday at 9 p.m., on Wednesday right after midnight, and on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Feel free to join us. We try to bring you the very best program we can bring, and we bring you also the very best business, like 3-2-1 web marketing over here. I want to thank you very much for coming to the show.
The pleasure's all on the side. Thank you so much, Besile.
We're looking forward naturally to have you at an event again in the future, and if there's anything we can do for you, definitely feel free to let us know.
Thank you, Besile.
Yeah, my pleasure. So that, folks, brings us at the end of our program. And again, watch us on Cox Channel 10, Tuesday, 9 p.m., Wednesday, and Saturday. Thank you very much.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilelemba.com.